This is Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth. We're here on the 15th anniversary of 9/11, joined by the one and only Dylan Avery, the fame-acclaimed filmmaker behind the first internet blockbuster, Loose Change. So, Dylan, first of all, I gotta say, Loose Change, totally changed my life. I honestly think it changed the world. I see it like pre-Loose Change world and then post-Loose Change world. I think it...
Pre-9/11 and the post-9/11
Exactly. It had that much of an effect on people. We're here. It's the 15th anniversary. How have you seen the movement progressing since the release of your film?
Since the release of the film, I mean, we had the huge rush and the huge peak in 2006. You know, we had thousands of people here at Ground Zero. I think even thousands of people here in Cooper Union, if not thousands, certainly hundreds. So it's changed shape in the last 10 years. Obviously, there's not as many people here. There probably won't be as many people down at Ground Zero. But you're here, and I'm here, and Bob McIlvaine's here, Les Jameson's here. A lot of people are here that, were here 10 years ago. So it's like it's almost like a reunion of sorts. So it's pretty cool in that regard. It's also interesting to see how, again, people are talking about it still. I still get the random email, and we still maintain the Loose Change Facebook page, and there's still questions. We're still getting traffic. So the discussion is still out there. It's just, it's 15 years.
Yeah.
It's like how, you can only scream for so long before you start to lose your voice, and I think that's probably what happened to a lot of us, at least for myself, is I just lost my voice.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's been literally tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people who have seen the thing. Where do you think this is going? I mean, it seems to have slowed down a little bit, as you said, since 2006, but where is this moving in the coming months and years?
Man, I had a little bit of hope for the 28 pages. I was kind of hoping that would reignite something, but then it didn't. So now I guess I'm hoping for whatever the next thing is going to be, the next breakthrough information. We posted something on our page this morning that I thought was going to be somewhat of a hit, and so far it hasn't had much traffic, but it's what I think is audio of an explosion before the South Tower collapses. I'm pretty sure that's what it sounds like to me. So we have the full data set. It's basically, there was a machine inside the offices of CIBC, which is inside One World Financial Center in the World Trade. Well, no, it's still there. Yeah, it's still there. So there's a financial office called CIBC, and they had an office, I think, on the 30th floor or something like that, and they were a trading firm, a financial trading firm. So on top of all the phone conversations being recorded, they also had open mics on the trading floor. So when, the second plane hit and most people just started evacuating the building, and you can hear a couple of them like, I was in the last attack in 93, I'm out of here. And it's funny, these are people that aren't even in the Twin Towers. They're just in One World Financial Center next to it, and they're like, I'm fucking out of here. I'm not sticking around to see how this ends. So there were open mics on the trading floor recording everything that happened, and I'm pretty sure that those open mics, well, they did pick up the collapses of the North and South Tower, and it's just hard to determine exactly what that first really loud noise is, but it sounds like it could be an explosion.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like there literally is still evidence coming out all the time.
Exactly, and we've had this audio for 2 years trying to figure out the legality of releasing it, because it's off of a financial firm's voice recording machine. There's probably a lot of sensitive information in there, but we're probably just going to release it all and say screw it. But that's it. Despite all the information that's been released in the last 15 years, there's still so much we don't know. Yeah. We still haven't really seen a clear view of what hit the North Tower. Yeah. Not obviously not going down the TV fakery route or anything, but I'm just we have two angles of what hit the North Tower. Yeah. And one of which you can kind of see the plane, and the second of which, you can still kind of see the plane, but, there's still so much we haven't seen.
Yeah, totally.
Crisp and clear, sorry.
Yeah. I got to say, I'm really happy to see you continuing to dig into this. A lot of people might not even be aware that you are continuing to make films. You've got more stuff coming out. Tell us a little bit about the next film you got coming out soon.
Black and Blue. In February 2014, I went to a rally for Kelly Thomas. He was a homeless man who was beat to death by 6 police officers in Fullerton, California, which is kind of like a suburb of LA. It's basically LA. Elbow, sorry. Thank you, light grip. But in 2011, these 6 police officers beat this homeless man to death, and I was driving to an editing job every day, listening to the trial every day, listening to the same quote from this officer. Do you see these fists? They're getting ready to fuck you up. This is what a police officer said to a homeless person. So I was shocked. Like many other people, I assumed these officers were going to be. It's like, I would imagine it's what Rodney King felt like for a lot of people. It's like, these guys have to be convicted. They have to be convicted. Like, we got to get something out of this, and then nothing. So for me, once those officers were not indicted and let off the hook, there was a first rally on January 18th in 2014, and Corey and I were actually driving back to California, so I missed that one. I went to the very next one on February 8th, and I had been contemplating making a film about police for a while. And I mean, I go back on my Facebook, even 2013, and I'm like, I'm really thinking about making a film about police. And I said I was done with documentaries. I was like, I'm not making any more documentaries. I'm not trying to be a troublemaker in my whole, I just didn't want to deal with anything really. And even then, it's like, Loose Change was born out of my anger over 9/11 and my anger over the event and the fact that I might lose my best friend in an illegal war that was spawned off of 9/11. So I had a lot of things to be pissed off about when making Loose Change, and so I hadn't had anything since Loose Change that really pissed me off. I mean, I made Buzzkill, the coffee documentary about my buddy in San Diego, not exactly the follow-up people expected, and then I got a job editing someone else's documentary for like 2 years, and that was Feel Full of Secrets, which is on Netflix right now. And that was actually pretty cool because I got that job through an actress that I cast in a short film, and it was only after he talked to me and was like, "You made Loose Change too? Can you?" Yes, edit my document. But it was great because I got a job editing someone's documentary and it had nothing to do with Loose Change. It had to do with a short film I had shot, so it was pretty cool. But basically, on the fence, kind of thinking about making a documentary about the police. Not really sure if I want to do it. So I go to this first rally for Kelly Thomas in Hollywood, right on the Walk of Fame, right on the stars. And the event's winding down, and this guy is sitting on a bench. He sees me standing there with a camera, so he's like, "Oh, this guy is either a filmmaker or a reporter or something." And he asked me, like, "You ever heard of a kid named Bobby Henning?" I was like, "No, I haven't. Kelly Thomas is like the main one I've heard about." And he like pulls up the article, he starts showing me. He's like, "I was the eyewitness. I was there when they killed him." So I go home that night, I Google Bobby Henning, and Ruben's like, the parents are coming into town a couple weekends from now for the 2-year candlelight vigil, because he was killed in like right outside LA, but they live in Northern California. So he was like, the parents are coming in 2 weeks for a candlelight vigil if you want to meet them. So I was like, yeah, might as well. So I actually was like the first person there. I got there before Liz did. So I'm standing there. I'm like, am I even in the right spot? And then Bobby Henning's mother, Liz, walks around the corner and she's lighting up a cigarette. And she's like, there was this cop here earlier and he was asking me, like, is there a protest planned here for later? And I'm like, no, a vigil for my son that was killed by the police. And she's like talking to a Paramount police officer while she's saying this. And, the guy's just like, oh. All right. And she's like, do you mind if I take your picture? And he's like, I prefer it if you wouldn't. And she's like, well, too bad. Click. And so she walks around the corner smoking a cigarette, telling me that story. And I'm like, that's it. I'm making a film about these people. I already know I am. And
it sounds like it was meant to be. And especially after that, if my timeline is correct, Ferguson, yes. Baltimore, everything.
And again, I shot so much footage before Ferguson that I kind of had to leave on the cutting room floor because it was the film I was making before the whole country was catalyzed into this movement. Before I was hitting up anybody I could find. I was like, do you have a story to tell about the police? Do you have a story? I figured it would just be a rapid fire of all these people with all these stories. And it's still kind of that, but it's documentary filmmaking. Like, if there's one piece of advice I could give you, is never go into documentary with a plan. I mean, go into it with a plan, but don't I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to have this chapter right here. I'm going to meet this person. It's like you just have to go. Yeah. You just have to follow the story and wherever it takes you. And if you have to throw out, footage that you got on insane bus trip that you took across the country and back, but it's great because now I have all that footage to release as bonus material and put up on YouTube, because I have so many people who are still waiting for the movie to come out to get justice for their kid. They're just like, oh, I can't wait for Black and Blue to come out because people are finally going to hear Brett's story. I don't want to let those fucking people down, man. These people, they put me up in their homes. I stayed on their couches. So that's the thing.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are anticipating it. So when will this be coming out, or when can people expect to see it?
I am wrapping up my screener right now to get it up for sales agents or even just anyone who can get into a festival for me. I mean, Slam Dance and Sundance are still open. Toronto just opened up. I want it out at this point. I just want it out. I haven't been trying to procrastinate. I really have been trying to make it the best possible version of the film that I can, and I'm very close to that at this point. So now I want to get a festival debut either later this year or early next year, and Netflix for all I care. Maybe HBO Go if I'm lucky, but I just want it to be out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, I can't wait
next year. Definitely next year, without a doubt.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see it. I mean, your work speaks for itself. Where are people going to be able to learn more from you or purchase a DVD, or are there any URLs you want to throw out?
I mean, I got my own personal Facebook. There's the Loose Change Facebook where we posted that thing earlier today, so you may want to check that out. There's a Black and Blue Facebook. I guess I just live my life on Facebook now. But it's, I mean, not for nothing, but like a good percentage of the people that I got and stayed in touch with for Black and Blue has been all through Facebook. And like it's helped me get scenes, because like this one this one guy's son, the guy who passed away, was killed by the police. His son was like, "Oh, I'm graduating high school next week. If anyone wants to show up," and I was like, because it kind of completes his arc from earlier in the film. I was like, "Victor, I don't suppose I could show up and film that for the film?" He's like, "Yeah, man, go right ahead." So I actually walked right up on stage with the camera too. Like it was just pretty cool. But yeah, I've Facebook, I guess, is the best way. Either find me on there or the Loose Change page or the Black and Blue page. And I have trailers for Black and Blue on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. I'm ready for the film to be out. I want to have someone else cut together a trailer, because I cut together the last one. So I'd like a new trailer. I'd like to get some kind of festival debut, and then I just want it to be out. And then I'm going to hopefully be able to maybe take a couple days off.
Well-deserved days off. Well, we're going to have links to these in the description of this video. Dylan, thanks so much for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Great to see you again.
You too.